Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay.
Y'all, this latest revelation about Diddy is sending shockwaves through the industry. Diddy's so-called ex-slave just took the stand and dropped names of rappers who allegedly got involved in Diddy's wild freak-offs. Yeah, we're talking some of the biggest names in hip-hop. The courtroom was left stunned as this witness detailed explicit encounters, exposing a side of Diddy that has long been whispered about but never fully confirmed. The crazy part? It's not just Diddy. There are a few other high-profile rappers that this witness claims were right there in the mix. We've heard rumors about Diddy's infamous freak-offs for years, but now, with this court testimony, everything's out in the open. Let's break down the wild details and how deep this really goes. Freak-offs and secret recordings. As you know, Diddy's infamous freak-off parties have been the subject of gossip for years, but what we're learning now is way darker. The witness, who worked closely with Diddy, described these gatherings as wild group sessions that lasted for days. Yes, days. The freak-offs allegedly involved everyone from industry elites to young, up-and-coming artists, and according to the testimony, Diddy wasn't just a participant, he orchestrated the whole thing. And here's the most disturbing part. According to the feds, Diddy had secret cameras installed at these parties. He was allegedly recording everything that went down and was even selling those tapes on the dark web. Yup, Diddy had his own blackmail game going. And get this, Kanye West was one of the many celebs rumored to have attended these parties. No wonder Ye's been calling Diddy a fed. Those recordings could have captured him doing who knows what. The involvement of other rappers. The witness didn't stop at Diddy, though. He went on to name other rappers who allegedly got involved in these freak-offs. We're talking big names, like Rick Ross and DJ Khaled, who have both been close to Diddy for years. Remember that clip of Diddy and Khaled talking about how Khaled's got Miami on lock? Yeah, it looks like they had way more going on behind the scenes. Khaled's been at a lot of Diddy's parties, and now fans are starting to wonder just how deep Khaled's involvement really goes. Rick Ross has been unusually quiet since Diddy's arrest. Normally, Ross would be out here promoting his stuff or making waves, but ever since the allegations against Diddy broke, Rose's been laying low. Maybe he's trying to distance himself from the drama, but with Diddy's slave naming names in court, it's looking like Ross might have a lot more to explain. Jonathan AI's strange connection to Diddy. Let's talk about this strange link between Diddy and a man named Jonathan AI. Back in 2018, Jonathan AI fired shots at the Trump National Doral Miami Hotel, and during his police interrogation, he kept bringing up Diddy's name. At the time, people wrote it off as the ramblings of a troubled man. But now, with Diddy's ST and racketeering charges, people are starting to look at Jonathan's claims in a new light. Jonathan AI mentioned Diddy multiple times, alleging that he was involved in some seriously shady activities, including Illuminati-level stuff. He even said that Diddy used him like a slave during these freak-offs. Jonathan's claims sound outlandish, but with everything we're learning about Diddy's parties, people are wondering if there might be some truth to them. Tia Kemp spills the tea on Rick Ross and Diddy. Rick Ross's ex, Tia Kemp, has been making headlines too, accusing Ross of paying people to keep his secrets, including his alleged relationship with Diddy. According to Tia, Ross and Diddy have been romantically involved for years, and she claims that Ross even tried to harm her to keep her quiet about it. Tia's been saying this for a while, but now that Diddy's legal issues are blowing up, people are taking her allegations more seriously.
Like the f***ing Diddy doula parties! I'm in this that's another thing. When is we gonna see you over there with Sean f***ing Cole? Go give dog a f***ing hug like I f***ing said. He was on his nuts! Oh, that f***ing year!
She even claims that Ross has been involved in some of the same shady activities that have Diddy facing charges. If true, this could be a massive scandal for both Ross and Diddy, especially with Ross keeping so quiet. And with 50 Cent stirring the pot on social media, pointing out lyrics in Ross's songs that hint at inappropriate behavior, fans are connecting the dots and speculating on what's really going on. One clip that resurfaced shows Ross and Diddy shirtless, washing Young Miami's car. At the time, it seemed like just some fun, but with everything that's come out, people are looking at that moment with new eyes. Could there be more to Ross and Diddy's relationship than we realized?
We wash your Carisha car, baby. That's right. We wash your Carisha car.
And then we washing my mother car.
And
we shoot commercials and we washing cars because we spreading love. You know what I'm saying? This is black entrepreneurialism at its best. Y'all can't with us. Free soap or nothing, man. Those cars is dirty.
Diddy and Kanye's dark connection. As we've seen with Diddy's freak-offs, Kanye West was no stranger to these events. Kanye attended several of Diddy's infamous parties, and there's a rumor that Diddy might have secretly recorded him, just like he did with other high-profile guests. If Diddy really has footage of Kanye from one of these freak-offs, it would explain why Kanye's been so vocal about calling Diddy a fed. He knows Diddy's got dirt on him.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, f*** you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, f*** you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a f*** because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you f***ing fed.
And speaking of Kanye, his ex-assistant, Lauren Pisciata, just filed a lawsuit accusing him of some seriously messed up behavior. Pisciata claims that Kanye drugged and assaulted her during a studio session that was co-hosted by Diddy. This is the same kind of behavior that Diddy's been accused of, and it just shows how much Kanye and Diddy might have in common when it comes to their dark sides. DJ Khaled, the mentor connection. Let's talk about DJ Khaled, who's been one of Diddy's closest friends and collaborators for years. These two go way back, and Khaled has always looked up to Diddy as a mentor. But now, with Diddy facing these serious allegations, fans are starting to question Khaled's involvement. Could he have known about what was really going on at these parties? Khaled has always kept his public image squeaky clean, avoiding any major controversies. But with footage surfacing from Diddy's parties showing Khaled in attendance, people are starting to wonder if there's more to their relationship than we thought. Was Khaled just a bystander, or did he know what was happening behind the scenes? There's no doubt that Khaled's career benefited from his association with Diddy. From collaborations on tracks, to Diddy mentoring Khaled through his rise in the music industry, their bond was strong. But now, with Diddy under investigation, Khaled's name is being dragged into the conversation. YK Osiris, Diddy's boy toy. YK Osiris is another name that's been thrown into the mix. People started talking after YK was seen on a vacation that Diddy reportedly paid for. Now, in the world of Diddy, nothing comes for free, and fans are speculating about what might have gone down on that trip.
You know what 50 gonna say to you when he sees you?
What?
I heard Diddy touched your butt.
Oh, man, what the hell?
I don't know what's going on.
Am I lying? Is 50 not gonna say
He's
that?
obsessed with her.
That's obviously, this man's obsessed with Diddy.
He said that was
50 said, you remember when 50 said that the first month?
Man, oh, yeah.
50 told French. 50 said, I heard Diddy touch
But I don't know
his butt.
nothing about you, what you talking about, man.
Oh, man.
To make matters worse, YK's baby mama claimed on social media that she caught him in bed with another man, adding more fuel to the rumors. And YK's been acting real strange in interviews too, blushing, stammering, and avoiding questions about his relationship with Diddy. Fans are now wondering if YK was being used by Diddy in ways that go beyond business. Rumors have been flying that YK's financial struggles might have made him vulnerable to Diddy's control. After all, he was living the high life 1 minute, but selling off his expensive cars the next. Could Diddy have been using his wealth and power to manipulate YK? The internet sure seems to think so.
You know, let me get that new Rolls Royce when you really can't afford it. I feel like if you can't buy it 2 times, you don't need to buy it anyway. You know what I mean? And a lot of people trying to spend, they would really spend their last on a Rolls Royce, or they last on a Bentley when they can't even afford it for real. But they trying to keep up with Instagram or keep up with the trend because they feel like you gotta fit in.
Usher, a dark past with Diddy. Usher's history with Diddy goes way back to when Usher was just a young teen in the industry. Diddy took Usher under his wing and brought him into his world. But rumors have been swirling for years that their relationship wasn't all business.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Usher has spoken about spending time with Diddy as a teenager, including staying at Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp. While the camp was supposed to be about teaching young artists the ropes of the music industry, insiders have suggested it was much more sinister. Usher has hinted in interviews that he saw things no young person should see, and that his time with Diddy left him with scars.
It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Then there's the persistent rumor that Diddy gave Usher an STD during one of his infamous freak-offs. This rumor gained traction after Usher was sued for allegedly spreading spreading herpes to multiple women, leading people to question where he contracted it in the first place. Given the accusations swirling around Diddy, many believe he's the source. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has been spilling tea about Diddy for years, and he's been very vocal about Usher's involvement in Diddy's wild lifestyle. Gene claims that Diddy exposed Usher to things he wasn't ready for, and that the young star left Diddy's parties with more than just memories.
And people know that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Meek Mill, daddy drama. Remember that infamous pool video where Meek Mill called Diddy daddy and said he loved him? At the time, everyone thought it was just a joke. But now, in light of everything coming out about Diddy, fans are revisiting that clip and wondering if there's more to Meek's relationship with Diddy than we thought.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Meek's been acting real low-key since Diddy got arrested, even taking a trip to Africa and riding dirt bikes to stay out of the spotlight. But Orlando Brown, who's never been afraid to spill the tea, is now saying he's got receipts that Meek was involved in Diddy's freak-offs. Orlando's known for making wild claims, but with Diddy's arrest, people are starting to take him more seriously.
How did you feel when you saw this lawsuit that made it seem as if perhaps Diddy and Meek Mill had sex?
I mean, to each their own, and why would they not have sex when they're gay rappers?
They. Do you think Meek Mill's gay?
We all know he's gay.
And here's the wildest part. There are rumors that the feds found footage of Meek at Diddy's parties, and that's why Meek's been laying low. If those tapes come out, it could blow everything wide open. French Montana, caught in the middle. French Montana has been a close friend of Diddy's for years, and now his name is getting dragged into the mix. There's even a video of Diddy singing Happy Birthday to French while they're both covered in baby oil, something that seemed innocent at the time, but now has fans side-eyeing French's involvement in Diddy's world.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear French. Happy birthday to you. It's a special birthday for both of us.
French has always been loyal to Diddy, but with the feds raiding Diddy's mansion and finding 1,000 bottles of baby oil, people are looking at that birthday celebration a lot differently. Could French have been caught up in Diddy's freak-offs too? Only time will tell. The Game, why he avoided Bad Boy. The Game has admitted that he was close to signing with Diddy's Bad Boy label, before eventually choosing Dr. Dre's Aftermath instead. But now, with everything coming to light, fans are wondering if something happened between The Game and Diddy that made him turn down the deal.
Wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also?
Yeah, Puff. I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff liked to party. So that's basically all we did. I think the few times I was running around with D-Mac and Puff, we just did a bunch of partying. We might have went to the studio once or twice.
The Game has also spoken out about gay rappers in the industry, and people are starting to connect the dots, wondering if he was hinting at Diddy all along. The Game's decision to walk away from Bad Boy might have been one of the best choices he ever made, especially now that Diddy's legal troubles are catching up to him.
And so that in the closet shit is real scary, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into the seriousness of it, and it's just not fair to, other people. And then that spreads because that girl that you might be fooling might leave you and go find another dude who ain't gay, give him the disease, and he go cheats on her, and so it's an ongoing thing, man. So it ain't cool to be in the closet. So if you gay, just say you gay, man. Be gay and be proud, man.
I asked Mano if he would ever do a song with a gay rapper, and he said he's pretty sure that he has.
That's crazy.
Do you think that you've done songs with gay rappers, and who are not obviously in the closet?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, when you say who not in the closet?
Who is in the closet?
Possibly, man.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Orlando Brown's wild claims. Orlando Brown has been making outrageous claims about Diddy for years, and now, with Diddy behind bars, his accusations are hitting a little differently. Orlando has claimed that Diddy made some inappropriate moves on him, and while people used to dismiss his stories, they're now taking a second look.
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooskash koosmash. You gave me the ooskash muaf, the smoosmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. I mean, you gave me the oosh-kash wash. I love it, yo.
Orlando's been consistent with his allegations against Diddy, and now with Diddy facing charges, it seems like Orlando's wild stories might not have been so far-fetched after all. Fans are starting to wonder if there's more truth to Orlando's claims than we initially thought. What's next for Diddy and his inner circle? As Diddy's legal battle continues, we're likely to hear more names of high-profile rappers and celebs being linked to his infamous parties. The fact that Diddy allegedly recorded everything means that there could be footage out there that could bring down some of the biggest names in the industry. For now, many of Diddy's closest friends and collaborators, like DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Usher, are staying quiet. But as more details come out, they may not be able to stay out of the spotlight for long. This case is far from over, and with the names being dropped in court and the possibility of secret tapes surfacing, it could lead to one of the biggest scandals the hip-hop world has ever seen. Stay tuned, because this story is only getting started, and we'll be here to break down every twist and turn. So, do you think there's even more we don't know? Could there be other celebrities who've been keeping quiet, worried that they might get caught in the crossfire if those tapes surface? And what about DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and YK Osiris? Do you think they had any idea what was really going down at these parties, or were they just caught up in the mess by association? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because this saga is getting wilder by the day. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on the latest scoop as this drama unfolds.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. 50 Cent is set to do a documentary about Diddy and all of these allegations against him. Let's get into it. According to page 6, 50, who's had a decades-long on and off feud with Diddy, is training his production house on doing this documentary on the embattled bad boy mogul.
50 Cent has announced that he will be executive producing the documentary on Diddy. Surviving Diddy, too much brother love can cost you.
Okay, so it looks like 50 Cent is not easing up on Diddy anytime soon. And every time we think that he could be easing up on the pressure he is putting on Diddy, he pulls a major move that leaves us confused. Well, this time he is now coming up with a list of rappers with whom Diddy engaged in freak-off sessions. And heads up, the list is longer than you think, because it turns out that your faves have been involved in some seriously freaky stuff with Diddy. Chilly, 50 Cent's documentary is going to be fire, y'all, and I can't wait.
I've never been a bigger fan of 50 Cent. Not only is 50 Cent working on a Diddy documentary, but all the proceeds will benefit SA victims.
50 Cent is on a mission, and once again, he has Diddy in the crosshairs of his relentless trolling spree. 50 is known to be something of a major troll, but it looks like he means serious business when it comes to Diddy, because he has kept his foot on Diddy's neck since several women came out to speak on Diddy's alleged bad behavior and also file lawsuits against him. But 50 Cent isn't just satisfied with the legal drama, because he is now claiming to have the inside scoop on Diddy's secret shenanigans. Cassie's lawsuit introduced us to the wild world of Diddy's beloved pastime, which he referred to as freak-offs. Well, 50 is now going the extra mile to claim that male escorts were not the only men who were present at the freak-offs, because some of your favorite rappers were also there. For some context, Cassie, Diddy's ex, who he dated for about 11 years, spilled the tea in a lawsuit that she filed about a month ago. And girl, Cassie's lawsuit had some serious piping hot tea. Cassie dropped bombshells, accusing Diddy of putting her through a decade-long roller coaster of abuse. According to her, Diddy wasn't just your regular boyfriend. He was more like a puppet master orchestrating a disturbing show. We're talking drugs, physical assaults, and some seriously unsettling activities involving multiple male escorts, all while Diddy watched and enjoyed the scene. Now, the Cassie Diddy situation started back in 2005 when she was just 19, and it finally came crashing down in 2018. Of course, Diddy denied the allegations, but people don't believe him, which isn't surprising given the many allegations that have been made against him. For a couple of weeks now, people have been wondering why the police have never opened an investigation into Diddy. I mean, the things that Cassie said in her lawsuit were so bad, and a lot of it edged into criminal activity. Well, word on the streets is that Diddy has the police in his pocket, and his influence is the reason that he has managed to stay out of legal trouble. Speaking of Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy, it's truly disturbing to say the least, because the allegations that were brought against him are so wild that they almost seem unreal. The court documents went on and on about some really dark stuff, talking about how Cassie was basically a prisoner in the relationship. relationship. According to Cassie, she wasn't just in a messed up relationship, she was essentially trafficked by Diddy to act out his wild fantasies, which he referred to as freak-offs. Cassie had no input about the freak-offs, because Diddy forced her to participate in the freak-offs, whether she wanted to or not. Diddy hired male escorts, flew them out, and had them wear masks before engaging in the freak-offs. She also revealed that Diddy would play director during the freak-offs, telling her what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The venues for these escapades were always some fancy and high-end locations, like the Trump International Hotel in the heart of New York City. Cassie also claimed that Diddy had this weird fascination with watching her get intimate with other guys, and apparently he chose some ritzy locations for his front row seat to the weirdness. You know, because as a billionaire, he had to have the best of the best even for his freak-offs. According to the lawsuit, the first time, Mr. Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles. The man, Mr. Combs, and Ms. Ventura wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Ms. Ventura to perform intimate acts with this man while Mr. Combs watched them. He got off to it while he directed Ms. Ventura and the man to do specific intimate acts. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangement a freak-off, or FO. He would repeatedly tell Ms. Ventura at random moments that he wanted an FO, and Ms. Ventura was eventually expected to facilitate the location and the hiring of male escorts. But that's not all, because Diddy also used to force her to use drugs before the freak-offs. She said, Mr. Combs always supplied Ms. Ventura and the escort with copious amounts of drugs before and during the FOs. Ms. Ventura was given ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and alcohol in excessive amounts during FOs, which allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace to get IV fluids in the days after an FO to recover from the excessive substances pushed upon her. Ms. Ventura was required to dress up in lingerie for an FO, and Mr. Combs insisted she wear white nail polish to contrast her nails with the skin of the black men he hired to be intimate with her. She also revealed that he did so many things to keep her under his control, like forcing her to carry his gun in her purse for no other reason than because he could. The document said, on at least 2 occasions, Mr. Combs demanded that Ms. Ventura hold Mr. Combs' gun in her purse. Ms. Ventura had no familiarity with guns and was petrified that the firearm would accidentally go off in her purse. There was no clear reason why Mr. Combs required her to hold his guns, except to reinforce to his young girlfriend that he was violent, powerful, and dangerous. This was weird, but according to 50 Cent, Cassie left out a lot of things in the lawsuit, like the fact that Diddy had other men in the freak-offs. Now, we don't know for sure if the freak-offs with Cassie were the same freak-offs that Diddy had with the rappers, but that didn't stop 50 from spilling even more tea, and he dragged Jay-Z into it. Ever since the bombshell news about Cassie suing Diddy dropped, 50 Cent has been on a mission to spill all the messy details, and recently he took it up a notch by revealing Jay-Z's alleged involvement in Diddy's controversial escapades. Now, we all know Diddy and Jay-Z are tighter than tight. I mean, Diddy even revealed that only his mom and Jay-Z get the privilege of calling him by his first name, Sean.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside
should be,
of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
They've got this strong bond, but now 50 Cent is suggesting that maybe, just maybe, there's more to Diddy and Jay-Z's connection than what meets the eye. Yeah, he's hinting that their bromance might have some shady undertones. It's not surprising to see why 50 Cent would drag Jay-Z into this, because if there is one person that he seems to have some major feud with outside of Diddy, it's Jay-Z, and they've had their fair share of beef spanning over 2 decades. There was a time when 50 straight up accused Jay of buying his way to the top, arguing that there's no real competition because Jay-Z is just using his deep pockets to stay ahead. Also, 50 has spoken about how he finds it all kinds of strange that Jay-Z likes to refer to himself as Jesus. Back in a 2009 Rolling Stone interview, 50 Cent spilled the beans about Jay's king complex, practically claiming to be the Messiah. He said he has a king complex, he thinks he's effing Jesus. You know what I mean? This Jehovah-ish. I'm just watching him. He said something one time I didn't like. Those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things. To top it off, 50 seemed to throw some shade at Jay, accusing him of betraying those close to him, like the former Rockefeller artist Beanie Siegel. According to 50, Jay wasn't exactly looking out for the team. He was more about whatever it took to line his own pockets. It's not just 50 Cent who is saying this. There are a whole lot of people who think Jay-Z might have left a trail of destruction on his way to the top. top. Uncle Ron, who claims to be Beyoncé's bodyguard, spilled the tea, claiming that Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been less than gentle with those who dared to speak out against them. According to Uncle Ron, Jay-Z's success story involves sidelining folks who played a part in his come-up, like Biggie, Beanie Sigel, and Freeway.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
But hold up, because there's more to this situation, because Jaguar Wright also had some things to say about Diddy and Jay-Z. She hinted at some shady stuff happening in Jay-Z's inner circle, pointing out figures like Big L, implying that their stories ended in tragedy because F Jay-Z. This whole situation kind of mirrors the rumors surrounding Diddy, and it's like deja vu because both Jay-Z and Diddy seem to have this pattern where their associates either meet ultimately ends or mysteriously fade away from the limelight.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest.
sensei.
One of the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And
Then we also have Kanye West and the wild secrets that he exposed about some powerhouses in the industry, including Diddy and Jay-Z. Kanye claimed that Diddy and Jay-Z are puppets in the grand scheme of Hollywood elites. And if you're wondering why Kanye was spilling the tea so confidently, he claimed that it's because, unlike him, he never unalived anyone for the Hollywood elites or did some shady stuff for them, and that's why they have nothing to hold over his head. Kanye is yet another person to link Jay-Z and Diddy. But hold on, because it gets even deeper than that. Jaguar Wright wasn't done talking about Diddy and Jay-Z's weird relationship because she talked about some shady situations involving both men and had people questioning the dynamic between the two men after she hinted that they were involved in some intimate actions, if you know what I mean.
doing songs with Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And
Why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
because he smacks so sweet. That fucking sodomite. Anyway,
Okay, so back to 50 Cent. According to reports, 50 Cent has been talking about how Diddy is not the only one who has shady dealings in the industry because Jay-Z has managed to get away with a crazy amount of stuff that should have gotten him canceled. 50 pointed out how weird it was that Jay-Z was messing around with Foxy Brown when Foxy was only 14 and Jay-Z was well in his 20s at the time, and he called Jay-Z out for allegedly grooming Foxy until she landed in his bed. Then there's Aaliyah, who, according to 50, was also groomed by Jay-Z's friend R. Kelly. And let's not forget Jay-Z's admission that he knew Beyoncé for a decade, implying they might have crossed paths when Queen Bey was 15 or 16. But the drama doesn't stop there. Conspiracy theories have long swirled around Jay-Z's potential involvement in Aaliyah's tragic death after she reportedly turned down his advances. Dame Dash even claimed Jay-Z was aware of R. Kelly's illegal marriage to Aaliyah at 15 but continued to associate with him. Aaliyah unfortunately passed away in a plane crash in 2001, and a couple of months later, Jay-Z went public with Beyoncé. Now here's where it gets even more intense. Rumors are flying about alleged all-male freak-offs involving Jay-Z and Diddy. In an interview, Diddy's bodyguard, Gene Deal, revealed that Diddy was an active participant in the freak-off, not just a spectator like Cassie's lawsuit made him out to be.
And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her?
50 Cent also shared a video of him on stage with Diddy and Jay-Z, capturing the moment Diddy playfully slapped Jay-Z's butt. Yeah, that's just all shades of creepy, and it kind of makes us wonder what Jay-Z and Diddy might be getting up to behind closed doors. According to 50 Cent, there is more going on between Jay-Z and Diddy than we know, including alleged freak-off sessions. 50 claims that when Diddy slapped Jay-Z, he had forgotten himself and didn't even remember that they were on stage in front of thousands of people. But as it turns out, Jay-Z is not the only superstar involved, because a couple more of your faves were doing the same thing, including Will Smith. Diddy and Will Smith have been great friends for a couple of years now, and according to 50 Cent, some of the activities they were involved in were not exactly friendly because they crossed over into the freaky zone, if you catch my drift. Like Diddy, rumors of Will Smith being on the DL have been around for a hot minute, and Alexis Arquette even revealed that Will's first marriage to Cherie Zampino ended because Cherie caught him in bed with a man. Alexis wrote, "When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him, servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them." She being his first wife, paid off, silent. Alexis wasn't the last person who accused Will of being on the DL, because Trisha Paytas came all out to accuse him of SA when she claimed that Will allegedly forced her male dancers to sleep with him.
How about worry about your cheating husband fucking my male dancers, when they didn't want to? How about talk about that?
Diddy, on the other hand, has been the subject of so much talk from men in the industry about him trying to force them into freak-off situations. Gene spilled the tea on Diddy's escapades with men.
And he said, "Yo, Gene, watch the door, don't let nobody come through here." And I said, I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out naked, and I said that, ain't nobody told me that. I saw that myself.
Rapper Exhibit also revealed that Diddy once took him to a gay bar, and he was so shook that he snuck out of the bar and ran home.
We go down and get a drink. We sitting there bobbing to the music, and then she point over the corner. It's two dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Then it's girls in the club too. And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there like.
The game also threw shade at Diddy when he hinted that Diddy uses women to hide his real sexuality. He hinted that Diddy was a DL rapper who tries to hide his sexuality by being a womanizer or having multiple kids with different baby mamas. Oh, and let's not even get started on 50 Cent and how he has been keeping his foot on Diddy's neck, steadily exposing Diddy over the years. There was a time he shaded Diddy on IG and said, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Putty Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow." There's also the time he went on The Breakfast Club and said that Diddy was fruity.
And when he's doing, he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity.
50 Cent also claimed that Diddy once tried to take him shopping and that he found it to be really weird.
So when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out. We gotta kick it.
This is
Pause.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it. He's like, yo, why don't we go shopping or something? I mean, I pay for it. And I was like, what the this just say?
If there's one person who keeps his foot right on Diddy's neck, it's 50 Cent, and he has never shied away from speaking on Diddy and his activities. 50 even talked about how Diddy made videos of Cassie during the freak-offs and then shipped the videos around to other people in the industry, even 50 Cent.
The nigga Puff, he called, we should kick it on telephone and shit, after the made shit.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures of this girl, not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and...
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Fifth.
50 Cent claimed that he reached out to Diddy to let him know that a bad video of Cassie was making its rounds and asked Diddy to handle it, but Diddy wasn't exactly bothered by it. 50 also claimed that from Diddy's response, he could tell that Diddy was the one who had been sending the videos around.
But, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because when a girl moves from a man and she upgrades, niggas be insecure, you know what I'm saying?
If Diddy sent the video to 50 Cent, who he was beefing with, can you imagine who else would have seen the videos? Yeah, that's messed up big time. Jaguar Wright also revealed another rapper who Diddy forced into freak-offs, and she name-dropped Meek Mill.
Yeah. They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray left that house f***ing screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
50 also claimed that Diddy also allegedly engaged in some freak-offs with Harv Peer, who was once the president of Bad Boy Records. Yeah, this one isn't so shocking, especially because Harv was named as one of the co-defenders in Diddy's 4th lawsuit when an anonymous woman, Jane Doe, claimed that the two men, in addition to a third, unnamed man, allegedly SA'd her, and then they forced her into a freak-off. The document said, when she was just a teenager, Ms. Doe met Mr. Pierre and the third assailant in a lounge in the Detroit, Michigan area. While at the lounge, Mr. Pierre insisted that he was best friends with Mr. Combs and even called Mr. Combs with Ms. Doe. Mr. Combs convinced Ms. Doe, who was half his age at the time, to accompany Mr. Pierre and the third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. Before they left for the private jet, Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also SA'd Ms. Doe by forcing her to give him oral action. The documents went on to say that, on the evening in question, Ms. Doe was with friends in a lounge when she was approached by who she later learned was Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre was with his own friends, including the third assailant. Mr. Pierre, the third assailant, and their friends were dressed in suits. Mr. Pierre repeatedly complimented Ms. Doe's appearance, saying that she was hot, among other things. He then began talking about his self-described best friend and brother, Mr. Combs. Specifically, Mr. Pierre continually stated that Mr. Combs would love to meet Ms. Mr. Pierre even called Mr. Combs and put Ms. Doe on the line. Mr. Combs told Ms. Doe that he would love to meet her and that she should accompany Mr. Pierre to New York City in a private jet. The lawsuit then claimed that Diddy asked Harv to bring Jane over to New York in the private jet, after which things quickly got very bad for Jane Doe. E-documents went on to say that Mr. Pierre, third assailant, and another gentleman then escorted the high schooler to a private jet, which flew them to Teterboro, New Jersey. There were SUVs awaiting the group at Teterboro, and the four of them were driven to Daddy's House Recording Studio, a studio famously owned and operated by Mr. Combs and Bad Boy. While at the studio, Mr. Combs and his associates, including Mr. Pierre, plied Ms. Doe with substances. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Ms. Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having intimacy with anyone, much less someone twice her age. It continued. While at the studio, Ms. Doe was SA'd by Mr. Combs, the third assailant, and Mr. Pierre, in that order. While Mr. Combs was SA'ing Ms. Doe, he complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could. Mr. Combs then watched on as third assailant, whom Ms. Doe had not even realized had begun, SA'd Ms. Doe as she told him to stop. After third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn and then forced her to give him oral action, during which Ms. Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. The lawsuit also said, when Mr. Pierre finished, he left Ms. Doe in the bathroom alone. Ms. Doe fell into the fetal position and lay on the floor. Her privates were in pain. Finally, after a period of time, Ms. Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up and had to be helped to walk out of the building and back into a car. She was taken back to an airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she has very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in her car sometime early in the morning. That was not the first time that Harvey was accused of allegedly SA'ing a woman, because he was sued for allegedly SA'ing an employee of Bad Boy Records back when he was the president of the label. According to reports, the lawsuit filed in New York Supreme Court accuses Harv Pierre, a former president of Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records, of engaging in a year-long pattern of grooming the unnamed assistant, leading to SH of plaintiff and SA from approximately 2016 to 2017. Pierre SA'd plaintiff on multiple occasions in New York City and other locations throughout the country. However, a representative of the company released a statement saying, "The allegations are from many years ago that were never brought to the attention of the company. Neither the plaintiff nor the executive are current employees of the company. We are now investigating the allegations, and our top priority is the safety and well-being of our employees." But according to 50 Cent, that wasn't the last time that Diddy and Harvey Pierre were involved in freak-off sessions, because it was allegedly something that they liked to do regularly with each other and with other people. Chile, this situation is crazy, and according to 50 Cent, he is going to be spilling even more tea in the documentary that he is making. He claims that the documentary isn't just about Diddy's alleged SA cases, but also Diddy's shady secrets as well, including the details of his freak-offs and his freak-off partners. Fans had a lot to say about 50 Cent's new revelations, and they left comments saying, "I don't doubt 50 has a self-interested angle on this. That doesn't necessarily detract from the altruism or truth of what he asserts. 50 has a code. He has said nothing about Ye, would never cross M. Diddy seems to literally and metaphorically F everyone around him. 50 is coming for everybody. I'm here for all of it. As my great-grandmother would say, watch the company you keep. Birds of a feather flock together. And I'm gone, leave it there. Let that marinate. And love 50 for speaking the truth. Too many people are blinded by dollar signs. There's a lot to unpack here, so y'all let me know what you think about this situation. What do you think about Diddy's freak-offs with other rappers? Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.